We're Katie, Michael and Indy, and we live and travel full-time in our self-converted van, Dippy. This week, we've been in the south of France, starting in Saint-Remy-de-Provence, which is in the Alpilles National Park, for some hiking and getting slightly lost, causing a very grumpy pup. We've strolled around pretty French villages before heading into Marseille for our most stressful van experience yet, but treated ourselves to some cookies in front of the cathedral. We explored Marseille's national parks before swiftly leaving the city and heading back inland to Sain-Baume National Park, with our prettiest mountain park up yet. Welcome to Dippy Travels. Yum! Michael's getting the big one, and I'm getting the small one that Indy nibbled in the night. Cheers. Yum. This is where we stayed last night. It's like a car park for the beginning of the walk. Not our walk we're going on, but another walk. So it's quite big. There's lots of camper vans here. We parked ourselves just here. And today, I think we're walking this way. And then we're going to enter our walk via this walk somehow. Indy's ready. She thinks we're going on a drive, don't you, Indy? She loves it in this little front bit. She always gets in there, but actually we're going on a walk. Okay, I'm ready then. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We pretty much base our route and our park ups around the places we want to visit, national parks and hikes. And we were really excited about this one, but the extent of our research into said hikes doesn't really tend to go past the average time it takes to complete and the pretty photos that people upload. And this was one where we maybe should have read into it a bit more, as it was a bit more challenging than expected. But well worth it. The entire walk was stunning from the get-go. Straight on, everybody. We're looking for a rock with 2 holes. We normally complete hikes faster than the hike, even though we're not hikers, but this is what slows us down. Me. Getting obsessed with every rock and tree that I see. Look at these views. This is what happens when you don't read the reviews and don't read about the hike, you just look at the pretty pictures. We are going up here, but yeah, we're gonna have to go up that little ladder just there. Michael's gonna have to carry Indy. Oops. The hike got pretty hard pretty fast. The paths were gravelly and wet from the rain the day before, but we retreated at the top of mountain number 1 with endless views of distant mountains, forest, small windy roads and pretty French villages. After making our way back down of mountain number 1, we passed a lake where we stopped to have a rest and let Indy have a paddle. The path then took us back up again until we ran into a slight problem. Vertical steps made out of metal bars up a cave, which was fine for us, but a bit of a scare trying to get Indy up there, but we did it. We've been walking for about 2.5 hours, and I did say it was only going to be a 2-hour walk. And we bought 1 tiny bottle of water with us and 1 apple to share.
We're not even close to the end.
And we're not even close to the end. But we are close to the holy rocks. But yeah, we're close to that, but whew, it's been a tough one. We were not prepared for this in any shape or form. Yeah, probably a long time to go. Sorry.
If we make it.
If we make it. Fast forward to when we finally made it to the main attraction, the rock with 2 holes. The rock face towered above us with 2 natural holes framing the view of forests and distant mountains. The views were literally amazing. We chatted to 2 French women having a picnic for a while before we started our descent back down, luckily knowing that we didn't have too much further to go, but unfortunately a teeny bit more uphill, after taking a slight incorrect detour first. We made it! We are not going any higher now.
We can't.
Can't go any higher than we're already at.
What's up?
So that's it. We made it back to the van, alive and well. Just, this one's about to pass out. We're settling down for the night, but before we can, we have to have a game of kill the flies or kill the mosquitoes. I can see 2 on the ceiling, 3 everywhere tonight. It's buzzing in my ear. Oh yeah, good one. But this is our evening routines now. There's so many flies in here. I don't need it, Cindy, right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? Good morning. So yesterday, after our hike and some food, we ended up moving on because we didn't have any signal and we wanted to watch Netflix. And we just picked a random car park that was close, that was in a village, so we thought it'd have signal. And shock horror, the village is really cute. Well, I'm only judging it from the car park so far, but look at these for views of the van. So here's the van, and there's the mountains we were up yesterday. It looks very autumnal and very cute. And behind these trees, there's some castles, which we are going to go and explore. But it's still 20 degrees, so we're in shorts and a t-shirt still. After yesterday's unintentional big hike, we wanted a bit of a rest day, so we took a leisurely stroll around the village, excuse my pronunciation, Alpilles, where we'd stayed the night. Like all French villages we'd visited so far, it was beautiful, with stone buildings, colourful window shutters, autumn leaves on trees, and we even found church ruins where we got a panoramic view of surrounding mountains. A pretty little town, but a boring little town. Unless you're going on hikes, which we are not today. So we're going to drive to our next spot near our next walk that we're going to do tomorrow. We've just parked here, which is near our walk for tomorrow, so we can go straight on the walk. And it's next to this really lovely rock, really lovely background, no bloody signal. We like Netflix too much, so we're going to go check out the views that we saw on the way up, and then we're going to move it back into the village so we've got signal so we can watch Netflix. And Michael needs to do work.
I've got work to do.
He's got work to do. But it's a very nice spot for anybody who doesn't want to watch Netflix and be off grid. And it's right by the walk. This is part of our walk for tomorrow, but we'll be on the top of it or up there somewhere at least. This is a realistic outfit check of how I leave the van in the morning, because I never know what the temperature is going to be like, so I just wear my pajamas until we get to said location and decide 5 minutes before we go on the walk, because I don't trust the weather when I should. It's blue skies, so it's probably going to be a vest and shorts again, but right now it's just a vibe. We are just on our next walk after a chilled day yesterday, and Indy slept all day and then was up all night.
It was a much needed chill day.
A much needed chill day. And we slept back to our roots, supermarket car park last night, because again, we wanted signal and we're in the middle of nowhere really. So
it did mean fresh bread.
Did mean fresh bread that I'm not supposed to eat, and it did mean stomachache this morning, so ups and downs, ups and downs.
I was okay.
It was a great dinner though, to be fair. We had a chicken burger for the second time this week. Anyway, we digress. We found a really cool walk that we are currently on the way to Marseille. So we're going to do this walk. Got a little sneaky peek of it yesterday, which looked really cool. So we're going to do this walk, and then we're going to head to an air on the way to Marseille, do our bits, empty the toilet, shower, refresh, ready for city life again, which I'm quite excited about. I think south of France cities are going to be very pretty.
It looks nice.
And we get to dress up. And I feel tricked by the weather today. It feels a bit chilly, and I'm in shorts and a vest. But
yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's gonna get sunny. It is sunny. It's blue sky. But it does feel a little bit like November all of a sudden. We found a big bridge, but it is not the one we are looking for. But look at this beautiful horizon. The main point of attraction for this walk was the aqueduct, which was a bit like a canal that leads to the bridge to carry the water from one side of the valley to the other. It was really cool to see, but I was more interested in the pretty little villages below and the autumn colours showing through. The views here were beautiful. The next day we headed to Marseille. There was a lot of bad reviews online about park-ups near Marseille and vans being broken into and robbed, so we stayed a little further out of the city the night before. The closer we got to the city, the dodgier everywhere started to look, and there was so much traffic. There was cars parked on every inch of pavement, and we even saw some parked on a roundabout. We tried to nip to Lidl to get some ham for lunch, but one, couldn't even get parked in the car park because it was so chaotic, and two, we wouldn't have wanted to leave the van anyway as it didn't feel safe. That was a bloody stressful drive. Yeah. For a passenger princess, that was a stressful drive. Marseille, not for camper vans. We should have learnt our lesson in Barcelona, shouldn't we?
Yeah, this is worse.
This is worse. And yeah, we went through some very not nice areas. And we've ended up parking. We're on a big slant, but we're only parking for the day. We're just on some road near the main attraction though, so it's about, what time is it? 12 o'clock. About. And we've not had any breakfast. So we're going to have some breakfast and then we're going to go check out Marseille and then we're going to leave Marseille ASAP Rocky to somewhere else where we don't know where we're going to park as well.
First impressions, I ain't impressed.
I ain't impressed either, but it'll be nice once we get in and we're going to go find some jeans because neither of us bought jeans and we want jeans. So if we find them, that's positive.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it, Indy. Our first stop was Notre Dame de la Grande, which is a Catholic basilica at the top of a hill overlooking the city of Marseille. We were really lucky that we ended up parking nearby and halfway up the hill, which made the walk a lot easier. This also meant that we took a bit of a back route rather than the main entrance, which gave us a unique viewpoint. We zigzagged up through the gardens with view of mountains, villages and the sea all in one. And at the top we had a panoramic view of Marseille, which was really cool. We wandered around the top, taking in the views and catching our breath before making our way inside to see the church itself. It's a lot more impressive on the inside than the outside. With gold patterned ceilings and decorative wall tiles, it was really impressive and the best thing we did in Marseille, so definitely worth a visit. We've skipped breakfast and gone straight for the pasta in a Tupperware. And Indy's having some biscuits. Pasta with a view. Bon appetit. Finally fed, we walked into the city of Marseille to have a look around and see the sights. The old port was really cool with lots of bars and restaurants, including about 5 Irish bars and the Queen Vic, so clearly a hot tourist spot. We then explored La Penière, which was the smaller streets and artier side of Marseille, before attempting to find some jeans for us from vintage shops, which was very unsuccessful. We gave up on our hunt for some vintage Levi's and treated ourselves to a little dessert in front of the cathedral before making a swift exit out of the city back to the van, so we could head to our next stop. We drove through the beachier side of Marseille, which we've heard is a lot nicer but still not van friendly, so we continued down the coast to check out Marseille's national parks. The morning after a day in Marseille, the city. And we were shattered last night. It was a hectic day,
yeah,
to say the least. And we ended up sleeping on the side of a road once more. But now we're still in Marseille, but we've come to the national park to see the nice side of it. And then we're gonna get the frick out of here because it's just crazy and just cars everywhere. We didn't realise that there was football on last night, which would have contributed to the mayhem, but still, it's too much. So we've come to the coast. Gonna do a nice national park walk, move further along later probably, or maybe stay here, and then we're gonna go back inland because that's where we belong apparently. Also, this is a rainy day. This is a rainy day in France. Rain all day, it said.
Planning to do all the shopping and washing.
We did do shopping though. We did do our shop. But yeah, we plan to have a chill day, do our chores, Yeah, here we are. I'm sweating already in shorts and t-shirt. No rain.
Forêt Dominale des Calanques. That's what I reckon.
That's where we are today. In classic Katie and Michael style, we looked at the pretty pictures of the walk and the distance and just went for it. Not reading reviews or looking at the route, and this one was beautiful but definitely a bit sketchy at times and definitely wouldn't pass UK health and safety. We walked up, down, along, over and across rocky mountain cliffs, but were treated with the most amazing views of the coastal national park. There's something so beautiful about when the mountains meets the sea. With the view of the small beach and port we were walking towards, we could tell this was going to be a challenging one, but one of our favourites yet. Once we got down to it, the small port was stunning and secluded with a few pretty houses there too. The last part of this hike was tough. It was really hot, really steep, and after a long walk we were ready to be back at the van. But we kept getting treated with different mountain and sea views that kept us going. Once back at the van, we moved to our spot for the night on the edge of Cassis, which was the home of tomorrow's walk. So where are we, Michael?
Port Mew.
Port Mew?
Yeah, in Calanques National Park.
Smashed it.
Excuse my French.
I'm making Michael do all the names because I ain't got a Scooby-Doo. And we just made it potentially to the top, where some people are about to go abseil down, and we're gonna choose the easy route away from this cliff.
The walking route.
The walking route. Still in Calanques National Park, we knew we were in for pretty cliff views and bright blue sea, but chose a more popular route in hope of an easier hike with steadier terrain and better paths. The walk started along the harbour, where we followed the trail to a small secluded beach before then taking us up into the higher grounds. Once at the top, we were treated with spectacular rocky cliffs once again, against the bright blue sea as promised. We saw a lot of people rock climbing and abseiling around this area too. Further along, we had views of the beautiful peninsula with a tiny beach in the valley of the mountain. There were people swimming and paddleboarding, and after hiking to the top, we were really jealous. On the way back down, the trail gave us views of yachts in the sea with stunning mountain backgrounds and forest foregrounds. The scenery and the views on this hike were truly beautiful. We finished where we started the hike in the small port, and it's a good job we started early as the paths were getting busier and busier. We really enjoyed this walk, and it was nice to have a slightly easier one, but still with the stunning views. It was then time to finally leave the chaos of Marseille and make our way back into the mountains for some more hiking and some more peaceful and picturesque park-ups where we can start to slow down and relax. We arrived in the mountains at our next park-up just before sunset, parked just down the road from the start of tomorrow's hike, and we were truly back in the mountains and it felt so good. This for a park-up. We had a restful evening, watching the sun go down, having dinner and a cosy night in the van. I woke up for my first sunrise. So worth it. It's so peaceful. It's so pretty. Good morning! We are at the beginning of today's hike, which is called
Grotte Sainte-Marie-Madeleine.
Is that all of it?
And to see the sanctuary de la Saint-Baume.
Basically, it's a church in a cave. is what we've found on Google.
That's the British way of saying it.
We found a church in a cave and we're going to go to it. There's probably definitely a lot more meaning behind it than that. But we'll Google that after, that's fine. So, it's so busy here. There's camper. This is just the little car park, but this isn't even the beginning of the walk. And we came here yesterday, thought it was just busy because it was Sunday and sunny, but it's Monday and sunny, and it's still really busy. So
it was a lot busier yesterday.
A lot busier, but the car park is still rammed. You definitely can't see it on here, but this is where we're going. Church in a cave. We seem to have accidentally chosen another really popular hike as the trail was pretty busy, but it did mean that the paths were clear and safe. And it was a nice, easy walk, apart from the fact we literally had to go up and then down. We got to the church and one by one checked it out as dogs weren't allowed inside. Past the final few stairs up to the entrance, we were treated with vast countryside views. The church itself was really cool. Built inside the cave, it had a really eerie but calm feel inside. And then back at the start, the car park had gotten super busy again, even on a Monday. We drove back to our spot from last night to stay another as we loved it so much, then unpacked the table and the chairs for some lunch. Later that evening, we took Indy on a little sunset walk around where we'd parked. It's so quiet and so peaceful up here, we love it. And we got another beautiful sunset to end the day. We hope you enjoyed our first ever YouTube video. We plan to vlog once a week from now on, and we've got a lot of Europe to go. So if you do like, please follow, like, comment, share. It'll mean the world. And if you want to see more about our all trails, about our park ups or hikes, you can check us out on Instagram as well, where we've got a lot more photos. I've took about 6 billion photos.
Too many
photos. Until next week.
See you soon.
Next time on Dippy Van Travels. If you can't tell, the temperature has dropped. I was listening to Reverend the Maker's Christmas song halfway up a mountain. How many minutes we've been walking and the coat's already come off. We should know better than this. May have made a mistake.